team would you really love to see Darryn Peterson on? What would be like the best fit for Darryn Peterson himself? I like the Utah Jazz. I mean, that's just a positional value right there. You got Keontae George. You got all like that entire front court that bleeds into the small forward position. Ace Bailey's there. I mean, your young core. If you're thinking about young core, you're thinking about Keontae at the 1, Darryn Peterson at the 2, Ace Bailey at the 3, Walker Kessler at the 5.
I would like Darryn Peterson to be like the first piece for the Kings rebuild.
I don't
know
know
why.
why.
It's the Kings. I'm not trying to look at the history of the Kings, even though I think they should get new management in there, get new ownership. I'm just trying to think. If I'm a Kings fan, obviously, if I'm somebody who's like completely in love with the Kings, which I'm not,
that's been
Darryn
abundantly
Peterson
clear.
would be like one of those pieces where I'm like, okay, we can't screw this up again.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not against the Jazz. I would just like Darryn Peterson to be like the one guy, the piece that the Kings can finally start to build something with. Because if they get anything outside of 4 or maybe 5, I don't want Darius Acuff there, but that rebuild will never begin. The rebuild will never begin.
My only thing with Darryn Peterson is like he's out of the 3 options, I feel like he is the biggest risk. Obviously, when it comes to like his injury history and whatnot.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah, that's absolutely who he is. But if you're the Sacramento Kings, I would argue that wouldn't be a good fit. Not because of how he would look on the court, but like, I mean, the Kings just need stability. Like this is what we were talking about last year when Owen didn't want me to have the Jazz pick Con Knippel, and I'm looking at Owen and I'm saying, dude, the Jazz just need some stability. Like someone who is just a safe pick. And I didn't think he was going to be this good, but I knew that he wasn't like a risky type of move, and I feel like Darryn Peterson is that type of guy. So what I'm thinking is like, can we find a team that can get away with missing?
You mentioned Con Knippel, and it's not a team that can get away with missing, but for some reason, I don't know why, but Milwaukee for Darryn Peterson's looking at me funny. I don't know why. I'm just trying to think about it really and squint really hard to try to justify it.
They just need players who can score.
Well, I mean, you need somebody exciting because the Greek Freak's on his way out. It's just a matter of time.
Yep.
So you're going to need somebody that's going to put butts in seats. And what better than the shiny new toy, projected #1 overall pick?
Yeah, Darryn Peterson to Milwaukee would be a lot of fun. Now, here's the only issue with that is statistically
Milwaukee can't afford to miss.
What's that?
Milwaukee is one of those teams that can't afford to miss, but I feel like that'd be a fun option.
But statistically, that is very unlikely for them to even handle Darryn Peterson because the Milwaukee Bucks physically cannot get the first overall pick.
They can't. Yeah, Jack, they can't. But
they physically
at the same time, if we're talking about a team that
if the Mavericks have taught me anything is possible.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's like a small chance. I'm saying if they jump up to the first overall pick, that's the Atlanta Hawks pick right there.
They don't get it. That's true.
So the only way that they can do that is if the Atlanta Hawks, whether it's the Pelicans pick or the Bucks pick, they need to hit #1, and then either the Pelicans or the Bucks, secondly, needs to hit #2. And on top of that, you have to hope that Darryn Peterson still doesn't go #1. And that's how you get Darryn Peterson.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just a team I'd want to see him on. Realistically, it's probably going to end up being like Sacramento at 3 or whoever lands in that 3 slot when the odds come out and the lottery is officially official. But I feel like Milwaukee would be a fun one for him. It's obviously not realistic, but I feel like it'd be a fun one for him. Just to keep some excitement there with all of the shit Giannis put you through in the last 3 months.
What do you think about the Atlanta Hawks?
I mean, I don't mind that at all either. I don't know what the fit looks like on court because he's, again, heliocentric, and they're a Hawks team that thrives on team chemistry now, especially now that Trae Young's gone.
Well, I'm thinking if you have Nikhil at the 1, and then you have
could run him at the 2. It could work. I just don't know what it's going to look like.
I mean, he's a score first type of guy. I mean, he's just kind of like a smaller SGA, I'm thinking. So, like...
Go get him, Atlanta.
He actually feels more fluid than SGA. Not that I'm saying that he's going to be better than SGA, but, like, he just feels... Does that make sense? Like...
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Because when I look at SGA, I'm not saying he's, like, quirky in any way, but when I look at Darryn Peterson, just the way that he gets to his spot is just like so quick and fluid. But again, that's kind of what SGA is. But you have a defensive-minded guard in Nikhil or Dyson Daniels, and then at the 2 or the 1, no matter what, just the other guard is Darryn Peterson. Everyone else, like the Jalen Johnsons of the world, the Kuminga, the Onyeka Okongwus, like positional value is that like second guard position, or I don't know. A lot of people are like mocking them to get like a center. I love Onyeka Okongwu there. Like I don't like if he came off the bench, he would be probably the best backup center in the league.
Jack, didn't you at one point have Henry Vessar to the Hawks in one of your mocks?
So what?
Did I see that correctly?
So what?
Didn't you have Henry Vessar to the?
Yeah, I don't expect him to start over Onyeka Okongwu. I mean, they need depth.
Yeah, but I'm saying if that was the center they were going to take.
Sure, yeah, but that's because they need depth.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should be starting over him.
Like these top couple teams that are rebuilding, they could probably get away. I mean, is it ridiculous to say these top 3 teams could get away with a bit of a gamble on these picks because the Wizards have a young core in place. The Pacers aren't really that bad, right? So is it fair to say those guys can get away with a swing and a miss? Now, I'm not saying don't take
Pacers
those 3 guys, but like if you're in Milwaukee or something and you want to package, I don't know what you would package that doesn't include Giannis to try to move up, but
no, you trade Giannis.
I don't know.
You're gonna end up trading.
Well, okay.
Now, speaking of the Pacers, I know we weren't gonna. We don't really want to talk about them too much because obviously everyone would fit well with the Pacers. But like, just imagine like the playmaking that Tyrese Halliburton brings to just like a pure scorer that Darryn Peterson is. That 1-2 guard punch would just be remarkable. It'd just be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They already play really fast, and you're adding a guy that also plays really fast, and yet somehow the smoothest player in the draft.
I said this earlier. We're back still on the Darryn Peterson thing. I'm gonna just put my argument out there for the Kings.
Right?
Sure,
know.
Sure.
He's getting on his soapbox for a dead
because
franchise.
I hated on his pick, so he's gotta defend it.
We talk about the Hawks, right? A team that is contending in the East. At this point right now, they're out of the play-in. So I'm going to put that as contending in the East. Right? So this pick to them is now finding somebody who for sure will add to this young core. We talked about the issues with the injury history behind Darryn Peterson, him being high risk, high reward. If you're the Hawks, do you take that risk because you've got this young core that you are already can get you out of the play-in? You are what? They're like the 6th seed right now. They're the 6th. They're the 6th seed.
Something like that.
They're not a play-in team. Over the Kings, what do they have to lose?
Sure.
Legitimately, what do they have to lose?
I mean, you can really just look at it at either direction, and neither choice is wrong here. It's like you can look at it in one sense and be like, we need stability now. Like we've been bad for so long, outside of like a couple years, maybe a year or two with Boogie, 1 year with Fox. Can we get something that sticks? Something that we can hold on to forever? Because we're gonna be bad every single year. We might as well start like slowly getting there. There's that argument, and then there's another one, like you said, like literally you can look at it in either direction. Like, fuck, we've been bad for so long. Why? What's one more year? It's really
if we get to have the reward that is Darryn Peterson. Mm-hmm. So like to me, that's why I think the Kings should just go for it. If we're saying specifically if they get number 2. Obviously, if they get 3. It most likely won't be Darryn Peterson.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if AJ's gone and you have a choice between Darryn and Cam Boozer, if
I'm the Kings, I take high risk, high reward on that.
Yeah, if I'm the Kings at number 2, that does make sense to go with Darryn.
Obviously, Cam Boozer's not anything to laugh at. He's not like some scrub that you're going to be taking at 3.
I think he's a safer pick though.
He is a safer pick, but if we're looking at like the way Darryn Peterson's looked at as like the guy who could be top 10. I don't think Cam Boozer will be like a top 10 player in the league. I think he'll border around like the 15 to 11 spot. But if we can get a guy who could eventually be top 10, I'm taking the top 10 guy.
I think Darryn objectively is a better player than AJ. Obviously, I'm a Kansas fan, so I'm going to say that. But like I do think he is a better player right now. But AJ has been there, and he's done that. and he went into March Madness and had that great game against Texas.
I think the ceilings are close. It's just the risk factor for AJ isn't
The
there.
ceilings are close. I think right now Darryn is better. I think AJ's a safer pick, and that's why AJ DeBanza will be the first overall pick. So in my big board, I have AJ, Darryn, Cam. Like pretty set in
One's
stone.
high risk, high reward. One's low risk, high reward.
Yeah, I would say so.
You obviously take low risk, high reward.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna go. Trying to think what Mavericks are another fun one. Actually, you imagine Darryn Peterson and Cooper Flagg?
That would
Yeah.
be nice.
Second
Yeah,
overall
I'm
pick.
not against it. I mean, if you get 2 first overall caliber picks in back-to-back years, then I definitely call collusion. But
Yeah, yeah.
they'd be a fun team. They would be an extremely fun team, and it would finally get Cooper Flagg some help.
Yeah, objectively,
Not only
they have a
that,
better
not only
team
that,
than last year.
but you would give the city of Dallas some hope again after they had
They have hope
That's-
now.
yeah,
that's-
I
absolutely.
genuinely think the
At
way
that
Cooper's
point,
been
Owen
playing
had
this year,
three.
they have hope.
moral because before they drafted Cooper Flagg, there were caskets outside American Airlines Arena, brother.
And then Cooper Flagg, I think the first month of Cooper Flagg, they were probably still a little worried, and then Cooper Flagg, once the year practically changed, has been on a different level.
Let's get an official pick for Darryn Peterson. Where are you guys at with him?
You know where I'm at.
Oh, the Kings?
I want the Kings need something to build around.
Yeah, I guess we could reframe it like this because you were confused with like how I was looking at it. Like we were looking at it 2 different directions here. Where do you want to see this player play?
Sacramento.
It
I
could
just
be
want to
fit,
see
it could be
Sacramento have
this, it could be
some
that.
hope, some form of hope.
Yeah, it's probably Sacramento because of all the teams who actually need stability in the lottery. They're the highest on that list.
Oh, dude, I would hate that for him. I want him like I don't,
Yeah. See, Sacramento sucks, and you guys were shitting on me for
the
it.
Kings. I'm not expecting you to be a great NBA player. I know we were talking about like you being in a 10-day contract with the Kings.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
Sacramento's
I'm
not
just
so
saying
great.
take the money. Like you're making $73K.
Look, Zach LaVine will be gone next year. Not next year. He will be back next year. He's going to accept that player option. They've got 2 more years of Sabonis.
Yeah, you can't trade Zach LaVine because if he's going to be on a 1-year player option,
$42 million deal.
ain't nobody
Like,
going to trade for that. If they want Zach LaVine, they'll wait for next season.
They need Darryn, man. They just need that fan base needs something to hope for. And if they don't,
This is the same thing
if
with
they-
the Nets, though, right?
No, because I feel like the Nets aren't in such a financial bind with the players they have.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess but if
let's-
you're not competing, then who cares?
The Kings are one of the most expensive teams in the league, and they're
Yeah.
a bottom team.
And that's just took like 5 draft picks and incorporated 3 to 4 of them in their starting lineup. They're not in cap hell. They won't be in
Well, no,
cap
but
hell
I
for
don't really feel like cap
a
hell
while.
means much.
Look,
if you're not competing.
All I'm saying is like when I did my rebuild, we went into that first offseason. I drafted AJ DeBanza. I drafted Dash Daniels. I drafted Caden Boozer, and I was like, all right, free agency time. The most I could do was sign Leonard Miller to a minimum.
Yeah.
They don't have any
Yeah,
money.
it'd be
They're paying.
lowballing, yeah.
They're paying Keegan Murray, DeMar DeRozan,
Oh, speaking
Zach
of,
LaVine,
curious.
Demontis Sabonis, and Malik Monk.
Yeah, speaking of Malik Monk, how the hell did you get a first for Malik Monk? That's ridiculous.
Bro, I don't know. Memphis was like, here's one first for the last year of Malik Monk. I said, hell
I
yeah.
hate 2K. You would never get a first for Malik Monk. That is
We
ridiculous.
could free up $20 million like that, and then I still couldn't sign Leonard Miller for anything more than a minimum.
Even then, it was Memphis, so it's like, I mean, they don't really need Malik Monk. Like,
They need. I don't know. Who cares? It's 2K.
As I say, Memphis
I wasn't
just
gonna
has,
turn away. I wasn't gonna turn away just freeing $20 million up.
Memphis just has a shit ton of assets. Like here's a first round pick. Just give him.
yeah, they got plenty to work.
Here's that.
I like the Jazz and I like the Hawks. I think I'm going to go with the Atlanta Hawks because of my argument from earlier, where it's like they can afford to miss on this pick because A, it wasn't even theirs anyway, but B, it's like, sure, you could miss on him where you could deal with like the injury stuff and whatnot. If you hit on Darryn Peterson, he ends up being like this all NBA type of guy. You have I don't want to say a dynasty, but you are a contender for the next 10 years.